This is ChainMind, the decentralized AI network built for everyone. Just search ChainMind on Google, sign up, download the app, and you're in. That's it. You've joined the network. Run it on any device, phone, laptop, or server. Why ChainMind? Fully decentralized, fully yours.
Imagine a world where your smartwatch can tell a TV network not just what you're watching, but how deeply you're feeling every twist and turn. That invisible bridge between a tiny pulse on your wrist and the millions of dollars spent on a single commercial is being built right now, and it's about to change the entire language of television measurement. The old guard of TV ratings, built on set-top boxes and diary cards, is crumbling under the weight of streaming services, on-demand binge sessions, and a generation that watches on anything from a phone in a coffee shop to a smart TV in the living room. Nielsen, the name that has defined audience measurement for decades, is betting on a new kind of data, biometric signals harvested from wearables, to fill the gaps left by traditional methods. In the next several minutes, we'll unpack exactly how that works, why it matters to broadcasters, advertisers, and even you, the viewer, and what hurdles still stand in the way of a truly universal, privacy-first measurement system. First, let's understand why the classic Nielsen approach is losing its grip. For years, ratings have been derived from a combination of household panels equipped with special boxes that record when a TV is on, and from manual diaries where participants jot down what they watched. Those methods made sense when most content was delivered over a single broadcast signal, and when the average viewer sat on a couch with a remote in hand. Today, however, the viewing landscape is fragmented across dozens of platforms: Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, YouTube, even short-form clips on TikTok. Each platform uses its own playback logs, and many of them are closed ecosystems that don't share data openly. Moreover, the devices used to consume content vary wildly. A 55-inch OLED TV, a tablet on a commuter train, a phone in a noisy cafe, or a VR headset in a bedroom. The old panel sample, which once represented a cross-section of the U.S. population, now struggles to capture the nuanced ways people actually engage with media. The result is a ratings system that tells you how many minutes were watched, but not whether the viewer was truly paying attention, laughing, gasping, or scrolling away. Enter the wearable turn. Smartwatches, fitness bands, and even the emerging class of smart glasses are equipped with a suite of sensors that can continuously record physiological and contextual data. Heart rate variability, for instance, spikes when a viewer experiences suspense or surprise. Think of the rapid beat when a thriller reveals a hidden villain. Accelerometers can tell whether a person is stationary, likely seated in front of a screen, or moving around, perhaps walking down a hallway while a show plays in the background. Ambient light and sound level sensors help confirm that the device is in a typical viewing environment, not tucked away in a dark gym. Location tags can differentiate a living room couch from a commuter train, allowing analysts to separate intentional viewing from passive background noise. When Nielsen pairs these streams with traditional playback logs from streaming services, they can infer not just that a program was on, but how intensely the viewer's body responded to each moment. Let's picture a concrete scenario. A popular drama releases its season finale on a major streaming platform. The platform's servers log that 8 million accounts started the episode, but they can't tell which viewers were actually glued to the screen versus those who left it playing while cooking dinner. Meanwhile, a subset of those viewers have opted into Nielsen's wearable panel. Their smartwatches report a steady heart rate for the first 10 minutes, a sharp rise during a climactic reveal, and a return to baseline as the episode winds down. At the same time, the accelerometer data shows the devices were stationary for the entire duration, confirming that the users weren't walking or exercising. By fusing these signals, Nielsen can generate an engagement heat map that highlights the exact timestamps where audience attention peaked. This information is far richer than a simple average watch time, and can be packaged to studios seeking to understand which scenes resonated most, or to advertisers wanting to place ads right before the most emotionally charged moments. The analytical pipeline that turns raw sensor data into actionable insight is a four-step process. First, ingestion. Wearable manufacturers expose secure APIs that deliver anonymized sensor feeds, with each user's consent baked into the agreement. This step is critical because it ensures the data never leaves the device in an identifiable form. Second, normalization. Because each brand of smartwatch samples at different rates and may have varying sensor precision, the raw signals are calibrated to a common baseline, correcting for device-specific noise and demographic variance. Third, fusion. The cleaned biometric streams are merged with streaming service playback logs, set-top box data, and any existing panel responses. This is where the magic happens, aligning a heart rate spike with a specific frame in the video. Finally, modeling. Sophisticated machine learning models translate the fused dataset into engagement scores, attention heat maps, and what Nielsen calls watch time quality metrics, which reflect not just duration but depth of experience. The output is a suite of metrics that can be delivered in near real time, allowing broadcasters to react quickly during live events or to iterate on episodic releases based on viewer feedback. Why does this matter to the key players in the ecosystem? For broadcasters and studios, granular engagement data opens the door to rapid creative testing. Imagine a comedy writer who can see, within hours of a pilot's release, which jokes caused a measurable physiological response and which fell flat. They can tweak pacing, music cues, or visual effects without waiting for costly focus groups weeks later. Advertisers, too, stand to gain. Traditional TV buying has relied on gross rating points, essentially an estimate of how many eyes saw an ad. With wearable-derived attention scores, advertisers can shift to attention-adjusted impressions, paying premiums for slots where the audience is demonstrably engaged. This could transform ad pricing from a blanket rate to a performance-based model, rewarding placements that actually capture viewer focus. Streaming platforms can feed engagement data back into their recommendation engines. If a user's biometric profile shows heightened response to sci-fi thrillers, the algorithm can prioritize similar titles, boosting retention and reducing churn. For consumers, the proposition is a modest compensation for sharing data, coupled with a privacy-first architecture that identifies information at the edge and encrypts it in transit. Over time, the industry could coalesce around a voluntary, opt-in standard that respects user agency while delivering richer insights. But before we get carried away, here's the part most people get wrong. The promise of wearables isn't a silver bullet that instantly solves every measurement problem. The road to widespread adoption is riddled with challenges. Device fragmentation is a major hurdle. The market is littered with dozens of manufacturers, each using proprietary sensor suites and data formats. Creating a unified ingestion pipeline that can handle an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, a Garmin, and a next-gen smart glass requires substantial standardization effort. Sample representativeness is another concern. Wearable ownership skews toward younger, higher-income demographics, potentially leaving out older viewers or those in lower income brackets who still watch traditional TV. If the data pool isn't demographically balanced, the resulting engagement metrics could be biased, leading advertisers to make misinformed decisions. Signal noise also poses a technical problem. A user might be exercising while a show plays in the background, causing heart rate spikes that have nothing to do with the content. Distinguishing genuine viewing responses from unrelated physiological activity demands sophisticated filtering algorithms and context awareness. Finally, regulatory scrutiny is intensifying. Biometric data is subject to emerging statutes like the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act and the EU's GDPR. Nielsen must stay ahead of policy shifts, ensuring that consent mechanisms are transparent, that data can be withdrawn at any time, and that any bias uncovered in model validation is openly reported. Comparatively, other firms are exploring alternative measurement approaches. Some startups use computer vision on smart TV screens to detect eye movement, while others rely on network-level packet inspection to infer viewing habits. Nielsen's advantage lies in its deep historical panel database and long-standing relationships with broadcasters, giving it a unique ability to blend new biometric streams with legacy metrics. This hybrid model positions the company as a bridge between the old rating paradigm and the data-rich future, offering a more holistic view than any single method could provide. Looking ahead, wearables are just the first step toward an ambient sensing ecosystem. In the next 5 years, Nielsen envisions pulling data from smart speakers that can detect vocal responses, connected home hubs that log ambient lighting changes, and eye-tracking glasses that capture visual focus. The goal is a seamless, multimodal tapestry that records not only what people watch, but also what they listen to, feel, and even discuss. On the predictive side, deep learning frameworks could ingest historical biometric patterns to forecast how a new series will perform before it ever launches, giving studios a powerful tool for green lighting decisions. If such models prove reliable, the entire economics of TV advertising could shift. Advertisers might allocate budgets to attention-targeted placements, paying premium rates for slots that demonstrably capture viewer focus. Broadcasters could monetize premium attention data as a new revenue stream, offering it to advertisers on a subscription basis. Streaming platforms could leverage engagement metrics to negotiate higher carriage fees with content owners, arguing that higher engagement translates into greater subscriber value. In this scenario, measurement becomes a strategic asset, influencing pricing, content acquisition, and partnership structures across the industry. So, where does this leave us? The integration of wearable data into TV measurement is a decisive step toward a more nuanced understanding of audience behavior in a fragmented media world. By marrying biometric signals with traditional viewership logs, Nielsen aims to deliver metrics that reflect not just what was watched, but how it was experienced. The journey will involve technical, ethical, and regulatory challenges, but the potential payoff, a transparent, real-time, privacy-respectful measurement system, could redefine how the entire entertainment ecosystem makes decisions. If you're a content creator, advertiser, or tech enthusiast who sees the value in a measurement system that captures genuine human response, now is the time to pay attention. The future of TV measurement is being written in the data streams from our wrists, and the companies that help turn that data into insight will shape the next era of entertainment. Stay tuned, stay curious, and if you want to be part of the conversation about decentralized, privacy-first AI that powers the next wave of data intelligence, follow Chain Mind. Together we can build a network where every pulse, every glance, and every decision fuels a smarter, more equitable media landscape.